day, everyone. Welcome to Wise Link Academy. I really appreciate everyone for following up. May God accept all our prayers. Today, our case study and our achievement today is to what? Draw an ellipse. And what aspect in ellipse are we going to draw? We're going to draw with a focal, like in one focal point, in one center point. We're going to draw our ellipse, our parabola, and hyperbola. That is from this only one focal point. From this focal point, we're going to draw our ellipse, our parabola, and our hyperbola. But for you to draw this, there are two main things you need to know. The first one is that parabola is always one. Take note that parabola is always one. The next thing you need to take note is that parabola is always one. The second thing is that hyperbola is always greater than 1. Hyperbola is always what? Greater than 1. And the last one, ellipse, is always what? Less than 1. So take note of those little tricks. So let's proceed. Before I can draw this, we need to know some second basic things again. The first one is what? The directrix. The second one is the vertex, and the third one is focal point. So focal point is the point at which your ellipse, your hyperbola, and your parabola are going to be formed out. Your directrix is the first vertical line that is going to what? Produce out your focal point. Do you get that now? And the vertex is always in between your directrix and your focal point. Do you get that now? So all what I've said, if you like, you can jot it down for understanding purpose. So the first thing to do to achieve this, let's read the question first. In the question, they said hyperbola, parabola, and ellipse have a common focus. You get that now? They have a common focus. That is this focus here. They are all using this focus. So focus from the directrix, and directrix is what? This line I'm saying here is called the directrix. So if the eccentricity of hyperbola is what? 5/3. 5, not 3/5, it is 5/3. It is 5/3. So it is what? Our hyperbola is 5/3, not 3/5, because hyperbola is what? Greater than 1. So, and our ellipse is what? 2/3. So we are given this. Let's start drawing. So drawing our horizontal line using our t-square. This is a t-square. You draw what? Your horizontal line. Can you see? This is my horizontal line with a faint line. So after you achieve that, you take your t-square. Can you see your t-square? You take it to the edge of that line you have drawn. You don't need to measure the line, just draw a faint line. So edge of your line, you take your t-square. So you draw a what? A vertical line upward. Can you see that? This is my faint vertical line upward, isn't it? So the next thing to do is to what? To locate our focal point. And what is our focal point? I told you focal point is where what? Is where all the hyperbola, parabola, and ellipse is going to be formed out. So in this question below, we are not given our focal point, that is the length of our focal point. So let's say our focal point should be 40 millimeter. You can assume, you can use 50, you can use 30, you can use 40, 70, any of your choice. So we're going to use what? 40 millimeter for our focal point. That is distance from your directrix to focal point should be what? 40 millimeter. So let's do that. So now this line is what? Is called directrix. It's called directories. That's one. So this line is called your directories, and this line, this horizontal line, is called axis. Axis. So now I said we want to measure what from directories to somewhere here will be your focal point. So we said our focal point should be what 40 millimeter. So let's measure 4 centimeter. So these are what 4 centimeter. Take note of that. So these are points here. So now let's project it upward. Take it upward. Projecting it upward to give you something like this. So let's draw the line upward. A faint line. Can you see? So this point is what our F, our focal point. According to my definition, I said vertex. Vertex, these are certain points A. So I said vertex. What is vertex? Vertex simply means the distance, the half distance from A to F. That is, the half of this will fall somewhere here. So the middle is will be our vertex. So now, you said you want to take to 4 centimeter. So similarly, you can just see from 1 to 2 that will be the half of that line, isn't it? So this point is what our vertex. So vertex is always what in between the directories and the focal. So draw an horizontal and vertical line passing through it. You can see that after you have drawn this, the next thing to do is to what? You know that as we did that from here to here is what for half of it, Abi. The next thing to do is what from here to here. Let's get the half. The half will be what 1 centimeter, because here to here is 2. Automatically, here to this place will be what 1 centimeter. So measure 1 centimeter at this point, because we said parabola is 1. So I'm measuring 1 centimeter, isn't it? From this point. So from this point, you project it what? You project it upward again. You project it upward. So this is where what point 1. Point 1. Don't forget, you get it point 1. You get that now? So the next thing to do is to what? Is to transfer this measurement, this one from here to here. You transfer it to this line, to the place of your desire. You hear that now? So doing that, you'll be having something like this. You take your measurement, you measure from your focal to that point 1. You can see that you use it to transfer the lines. So you can just draw many of your choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So many as you want. So the next thing to do is what? You project them upward and downward. So doing that, you'll be having this. So join them upward and downward. Upward and downward. Can you see that? Take to this point. Upward and downward. Can you see that? Take it to this point. Upward and downward. Proceeding. Upward and downward. Can you see? Proceeding, having upward and downward. So I can just say this is point 1. This is 1 because this place is our 1. Here will be our 2, 3. Here will be point 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see that now. So you can do that continuously. So the next thing to do is to what? Is to measure from your point F to your point what? V. You can see that. After that, you take that measurement at point V, you strike an arc up and down. Can you see? So these two here, you're going to connect them to your directories. So this is how you go about it. You take it like this, you take your ruler, you connect it to this line at which is meeting. Line here to the vertex. So this line here, this is your arc touching here to the vertex together. You can see that. You take it downward. You can see. You come to this point here too. You join it to the vertex upward. You are doing something like this. Can you see that? This is what you'll be having. So the next thing to do is to what? Is to proceed by what? By measuring from your point 1 upward to this point here. You can see to this point. Then you take it to your focal point. You strike an arc to that one again. That one that you have. That one. You can see this one here. You can see. Take it to point 2 upward to that point 2. You strike an arc for that point 2. You don't move it away. Strike an arc. Take it to point 3 upward. You can see upward to this point. You come to the focal point because focal point is 30 points for everything. You can see. Come to point 4 upward. You can see that. You come to your focal point. You strike an arc upward and what? Downward of 4. You can see. Come to point 5 upward to this. Take your point to your point 2 or your focal point. Strike an arc here, an arc here too. You can see that. So you can do it as small as you want. So you not take this point. You're taking all your point. You're taking all your point you are having that is touching that vertical line. Where the arc is touching those vertical lines. You can see. You can see that. Take note that these are what? Our V1. Take note, these are our V1. So this is on that point here. You can see. You can see. You can see. I have pointed out all my points. The next thing to do, take note that just your ellipse must not pass through your V1 because you are using V1 measurement to carry out all this. You get that now? So taking your French curve. So using your French curve, you set it such a way that when you are using it, it will never stress you. So you can see. You can see. So I think it can. I cannot draw it. You can see that. The next thing is what? To draw this one. Take it like this. You join it. So you join it to this starting one. We'll be having this. So this is our what? Our parabola. Don't forget. Always one. This is parabola. Parabola. This is parabola. Can you see that now? The next thing is to do is to what? Is to draw our what? Our hyperbola. And hyperbola is always what? Always greater than 1, isn't it? So let's proceed. So we want to draw our what? Hyperbola. This is hyperbola. So for us to draw a parabola, you know that our parabola that is given in the question is what? Our parabola is 5/3. So the formula for drawing this ellipse is what? We have what we called VF over VA. That is for what? Our hyperbola. Hyperbola is what? VF over VA, and our VF is what? Is 3, and our over is 5 rather. Is 5, and our what? VA is what? 3. So the first thing you need to do is what? You add up 5 and 3. 5 plus 3 is what? 8, isn't it? You want to draw hyperbola, don't forget, we have drawn our parabola. You want to draw a hyperbola now. This is what you need to do. 5/3, isn't it? So 5 plus 3 is what? 8. Now you now come back to this point, to your point. So from this point here to your focus, you what? Divide it by what? 8. Because of what? The sum of this is sum up to what? To 8. So we are going to divide that line to what? 8. From that directories to our focus, we're going to divide it by what? By 8. So let's do that. So dividing that line from here to this place into 8 places, how do we do that? I think we all know how to do that by using what? General method. You just draw a what? A angle of your choice. A faint line angle of your choice. You can see that this is a faint line angle of my choice. So you cut it into 8 places with any radius of your choice. You can just measure from here to here. You can see that, or anywhere here. So you now take it to this point. You cut it to 8 places. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 8. Yes, 8. I'm right here. 8. This is 8.8, isn't it? So now from this point 8, you join it to your focal point. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, this is our point 8. From this point 8 here, you join it to your focal point. So doing that, you'll be having this. You can see, join to your focal point. Have you now? So from there, you take your meter rule at the back like this. You can see, you place it at the back like this, such that you allow that this set square to move freely. You can see that, to move freely. You can see. So moving to next point, from this point here upward, you can see, moving this here to this, moving this to this. You can see, moving this to this, moving this to this, this to this, and this to this. You can see that we have successfully divided this line into 8 places. As you can see what I'm doing. So note that from here is 0, this one here is 1, here is 2, here is 3, sorry, here is 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, and 0.8. Can you see that now? We have divided from here to here into 8 places because what? 5 plus 3 is what? 8, isn't it? Now, what do you notice? Yes. They said that our VF is equals to 5. So VF is what? 5. That is your VF. So from V to F is 5. So let's count 5. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 0.5. Abi, here will be our what? Our V2. Our V2. You get that now? Our V2. So here's our V1. Here's our V2. You can see that now. Our V2. From this our V2, you draw what? An horizontal, a vertical line upward and downward. Let's do that. So from this your point V2, you can see this V2, you take your set square to that point, you draw a faint horizontal and vertical line. You can see that this point V2. From this your point V2, here you are seeing here, you take your compass. You can see your compass. You measure from your point F to your V2. You can see that. I have successfully measured it. You now place your pin of compass in your point V2. You can see. So that line of V2, you strike an arc. You can see. You come downward, strike an arc. So you can see that these are the arcs. You can see here and here. So here and here is their arc, isn't it? So from there you what? You take your, as we did for the first one, from your directrix to that point, you draw it upward in an inclined line. You can see. That's what I did. You can see. You can see I drew this line. This line you're seeing from it. So you take the next one. This point here is the next point, Abby. So joining this point to this our directrix, you'll be having something like this. Be careful, very careful. You can see that. So we're having this line and this line up here. You can see. So from there, as we should do, you measure what? So from a focal point, here, you take it to what? Our point. So when you have draw, this is an arc. This is an arc here. This is an arc here, isn't it? For that our hyperbola. Yes. So the next thing to do is what? Come to your initial one. You take it upward to point 1. Let me show you what I'm doing. Upward to point 1. You can see at that aspect, at that one here, you come to the focal point, you strike an arc upward and downward. You can see that. Go to point 2, just take it up. But for that point 2, take it up and strike upward and downward. For point 3, you go to the highest point of point 3. Highest point of point 3. You can see highest point of 3. You come to focal points, stay there, strike an arc upward and downward. Come to your point 4. Your 4, take it upward. You can see upward, focal point, strike an arc upward and downward. So after successfully done that, the next thing to what is to indicate those points. You get that now? So indicating them, if you have something like this. You can see those points. You're taking them. Taking those points. Taking those points out. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Taking those points. Yes, taking those points. You can see that. And the point here too. So I've taken this, and this. You can see that. Now I've taken the upper one. So this taking this and this and this. So the next one is what? Joining. So take note that your joining must the edge of your joining must be in point what? V2. That is the edge. It must touch our what? Our V2. As you this one is V1, it touches V1. So it must touch your what? Your V2 rather. So doing that, you'll be taking your French curve by joining them. So by joining, I'll be having something of this nature. You have to be patient. Make sure your drawing are accurate before you join them. You can see that I've drawn that. We come to this place. Things like this. You can see we have successfully drawn our what? Our hyperbola. So this is parabola, hyperbola. So now let's draw our what? Our ellipse. So let me show you. The thing is to draw our ellipse. We want to draw out this ellipse you are seeing here. How can we go about that? You know that they say that what? And that of an ellipse is 2/3. So you know that we said ellipse is what? 2/3. That is our what? VF is 2 and our what? VA is 3, isn't it? So therefore 2 plus 3 is what? 5. So we're going to divide. You know these are directories and these are focal points. Abina, isn't it? So we're going to divide from our directories, which is point A to F. We're going to divide it what? By 5. You know we have already divided from here to here, downward if you remember, with 8. So we're going to divide from here to upward 5. So this is what I'm saying here. This is what I was saying. From here to here, now we divided by 8, isn't it? By 8. So we're going to what? Draw another angle of our choice, divided by 5 because of the ellipse sum up to what? 5. So take your ruler to your point A, you draw a faint line. So the faint line you have drawn, divided by what? By 5. So take a measurement from here, from 3 to 4, or from 4 to 5, or anyone in which of your choice. So from that measurement you have taken, you place it at that point here and cut that line you have drawn. You cut it into 5 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, isn't it? So this is what I'm doing. Let me show you what I'm doing. So this is what I'm doing. I have divided from here to here to 5 places. How? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, isn't it? So the next thing for me to do is what? Join that ending point to our what? Our focal point. So join this point to this focal point. Joining it to here. So joining it from this point to your F. So you hold it stiff, or you use this one instead. You use this instead. So just connect it like this, such a way that it is corresponding to that line. So you take your meter rule to the back. To the back. And what? Hold it so that as for it to slide up and downward. So connect this one, this point here to this. Connect this point here to this. Connect this point here to this. Connect this point here to this. So these are what? Is 0. Let me show you what I'm doing. These are 0. These are 1. These are 2. These are 3. These are 4. And these points are 5, isn't it? So what did you notice? They said that we said something earlier that our ellipse 2 VF is 2. So from V to F, take out 2. Doing that, this is 0, 1, 2. So 2 is in this point, isn't it? These are here we are our V3, isn't it? So from this of V3, you draw what? A vertical line, upward and downward. Doing that, you'll be having this. The help of your T-square, and your set square. Your T-square and your set square. You draw, see that point? Let me show you that point so that you can see the point well. These are point 3. These are point 3, isn't it? You draw a vertical line upward and downward. Be careful, make sure you are careful. Upward and downward, the faint line. I have successfully drawn that. So from this point 3, you take your compass. So from your point 3 to your F, you measure the distance between them, as we did for V1 and V2. So the distance to this, to this, to this. You can see that you take your pin of compass to just V3, vertex 3. You cut an arc here. You can see, take it where you cut an arc here. You can see those 2 points we have cut an arc. We are going to what? Draw an inclined line from our directrix to this point here. Doing that, we'll be having this from your point A to that line. See this line? So point A, you draw what? A faint line. You can see, let's say that faint line is point P. You can see that faint line I've drawn. Let's say it's point P. Isn't it? So coming back here, joining this point here. Don't forget, this is the point to A. So we join it together. You can see. Let's call that point P, so that we can identify that point. Isn't it? So the next thing to do is what? You come to your initial one. This is your initial one. You take it to your 1. This is your 1. Isn't it? You go back to your focal point. You draw an arc on that one, upward and downward. You can see that. Take a focal point up to that maximum point of that one, that line draw, that inclined line draw, and downward. Point 3, upward. You take it to your F2. draw this, and draw this to your point 3 or point 4. Take it upward to maximum point. That inclined line you have drawn. So take it to your focal point. You cut it. Cut point 4. Point 5. Take it upward to point 5. The focal point. Cut an arc here. Cut an arc. You can see that point 6 upward. You can see point 6. Become the focal point. Cut an arc. Cut an arc to point 6. So point 7, take it upward. Point 7, pick the focal point, draw an arc here, and an arc here. So let's say this is our what? Point 8, point 9, point 10, point 11. So let me draw a what? A horizontal line, a vertical line passing through that. So for me to continue identifying my lines. So doing that, I'll be having this. That is for it. This is for 9, isn't it? So putting it your point 8, take it upward. You can see. Yes, you take it to your focal point, cut an arc, and then you want to cut an arc. Point 8. Take it to your point 9, upward. You can see that come to a focal point, strike an arc at point 9. See, it's not reaching point 9. You can see that. So definitely that will be our. Take it to point 9. Let's see again. Point 9 is here. You can see that focal point, strike on point 9. So you can see it's not touching point 9. So definitely you're going to stop it here. So now indicate your point. Indicate this point, this point, this point, this point, this one, this point, 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 this point here, this point, this point. If you're looking at it, it's already in what? An ellipse shape. So you take your French curve, you join this ending together first. So join them first. See, that's the first thing to do. Or start from anywhere. You join that first part together. Come to your V3. Make sure that your V3 is where your ellipse starts from. So don't forget. So your V3, this is your V3, that's where your point starts from. So your V3, you can see your V3. So joining them. Can see. This is. You see, you erase this aspect away. You don't need it. You can see. Joining them again. So joining this. So joining them, take this point here. Come in. Join this point. join this point here. And see that. So then you finally join this your last point together. You can see that. So we do not need this line. So drawing it shows a way that all those lines will join together. So this is what we are having as our final product. So if you find this video helpful, please click the subscribe button and like. Thank you. Welcome to White Link Academy.